Greetings, praise be Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. Last time, we talked about the chapter 1 of research, and now we will discuss the chapter 2. Chapter 2 of your research, commonly known as the literature review, is often the longest and most challenging chapter to write. It serves as the intellectual foundation of your research, demonstrating your mastery of existing knowledge and establishing why your study is necessary. What is Chapter 2 of research or the literature review? A literature review is a systematic examination, a synthesis of existing scholarly work related to your research topic. Unlike a simple summary of sources, a well-written literature review first contextualizes your research within existing knowledge. Second, identify gaps that your study will address. Third, establish theoretical foundation for your research. Fourth, demonstrating your understanding of the field. Next is to justify the need of your study. The purpose of Chapter 2. What is the purpose of Chapter 2? Chapter 2 serves multiple critical functions. 1. Contextualizing your research places your study within the broader academic conversation. 2. Building theoretical foundation establishes the theories that will guide your research. Third, identifying research gaps shows what is missing in the current knowledge. Fourth, justifying your study demonstrate why your research is needed. Fifth, informing methodology guides your choice of research methods. And sixth, providing benchmarks offer standards for comparing your findings. Chapter 2 of a research project typically includes the introduction, conceptual review, theoretical framework, empirical review, research gaps, and a summary. Introduction. The introduction to Chapter 2 sets the stage for the literature review by explaining the purpose of the chapter and outlining what the reader can expect. It provides context for the research topic and briefly describe the organization of the chapter, helping readers understand the scope and focus of the review. Second, conceptual review, also called the conceptual framework. This section defines and explains the key concepts and variables of the study. It may include historical perspective, definitions, types, and factors influencing the variables. The conceptual review ensures clarity and helps readers understand the terminology and scope of the research. How to write a conceptual review? For each key variable or concept, first, define the concept using scholarly sources. Second, discuss different dimensions or components. Third, explain how it relates to your study. And last, provide your operational definition. Theoretical framework. This section presents the theories or models that underpin the research. It explains how these frameworks relate to the study and guides the interpretations of findings. The theoretical framework connects the research question to existing knowledge and provides a foundation for analyzing results. In other words, a theoretical framework is a structure based on existing theory or theories that first explain why your research problem exists. Second, predicts the relationship between variables. Third, guides your research question and hypothesis. Fourth, provide a foundation for interpreting your findings. How many theories should you include? Most studies include 2 to 4 theories. Choose theories that directly relate to your research problems, are well established in your field, complement each other in explaining your phenomenon, have been used in similar previous studies. How to present each theory? For each theory, discuss first proponents, who developed the theory and when. Second, core propositions. What does the theory state? Third, key concepts. What are the main elements of the theory? And fourth, application to your study. How does the theory explain your variables? Fifth, strengths and limitations. What are the theory's advantages and criticism? And last, relevance. What is this theory appropriate for your study? Empirical review. The empirical review summarizes previous studies relevant to the research topic. It includes journal articles, books, and other scholarly works, highlighting methodologies, findings, and conclusions. This section demonstrates the research, understandings of the field, and identify patterns, trends, and inconsistencies in prior research. How to organize your empirical review? You can organize your empirical review first, thematically, most common, organized by themes or variables in your study. Second, chronologically, organize studies by time period to show how understanding has evolved. Third, methodologically, group studies by research, design, qualitative, quantitative, and mixed methods. How to review each empirical study? For each study includes, first, the authors and year. Second, research objectives and purpose. Third, methodology, design, samples, or data collections. Fourth, key findings. Fifth, relevance to your study. And lastly, number 6, gaps or limitations. Research gaps. Identifying research gap is a critical part of Chapter 2. This section highlights areas where previous studies are insufficient, inconsistent, or missing, justifying the need for the current study. It shows how the research will continue to contribute knowledge and addresses answered questions. Summary. The summary concludes Chapter 2 by synthesizing the key points from the conceptual framework or review, theoretical framework, empirical review, and research gaps. It reinforces the rationale for the study and transitions smoothly to the methodology chapter. In short, the chapter summary should: first, recap the main themes discussed. Second, highlight key findings from the literature. Third, reiterate the research gap. And fourth or last, connect to the next chapter. Thank you for watching, and may God bless us all.